I'm going to transition now to a quick introduction of our alumni guest speaker, Miss Carla Jones from the great class of 2003. She left Bowles and went to the University of Florida. Had a great career there, cast journalism. She's done a lot. I need to read all the organizations she's worked with. First Coast News, ESPN, Inside Edition, ABC News, World News Now, and Good Morning America. In 2015, she established her own company, Carla Michelle Media, and she provides storytelling with strategy to her clients. She's had a number of awards recently. In 2015, she was selected as one of the top 20 under 40 professionals in Jacksonville by First Coast Black Pages, and most recently, she received the 2016 City of Jacksonville Film and Television Rising Star Award presented by the mayor. I have not checked the 2003 yearbook. Do we call them senior superlatives here? If there was one for the best smile and laugh, she would win it. I'll have to go back and check. Carla, it is great to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. I have to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. I've never really spoken to faculty before, and as you can imagine, being a former student, it's a little intimidating. But I am happy to see quite a few of you who actually taught me, and some who I remember being teachers that weren't my teachers, and some who actually went to school with me who are now teachers, so it's very full circle. And I have to point out Miss Anna Jacobson. I don't know if that's still your last name, but she was probably one of the first teachers I had here and that I remember distinctly, and I always mention her whenever I'm asked about the school. Also, Miss Blackledge, Miss B, was my dance teacher, and Mr. Coach Ryan, I just saw you. Yes, one of my English teachers. And thank you for that introduction. I would be remiss if I didn't say that looking out into the audience, probably 2 or 3 of you look like me. So coming here as a student, of course, that's one of the first things that I recognize, because you try to find commonality immediately when you walk into a room. And when you don't see people that look like you, it's challenging, it's terrifying sometimes. And so with teachers, not seeing a lot of teachers that look like me, I really sought commonality, and I really remembered the way that you guys made me feel. Even if you weren't my teachers, if you looked at me and smiled, or had a kind word, just connected to me or tried to connect to me, that really mattered. So I'm just going to speak about a few experiences here that really touched me. Like I said, Miss Jacobson was, I believe it was her first year, the first year that I was here. And I just remember feeling like she didn't feel like a teacher. She felt like just a woman who loved what she was doing. She loved English, she loved literature, and I loved being part of her class because it taught me to think outside of the box. I'm sure she did some things intentionally, but it didn't resonate that way with me. It resonated as just she loved what she was doing, and she saw me, and she really made an effort to connect to who I was and teach me in a way that I would remember. Miss Blackledge, if you're blessed to work with her, know her, she's just vibrant, and her personality shines through everything. And it was the same. It was just her passion that made me want to be part of her dance class. I love dance already, but to be part of it and just have her, I had to be able to trust that she knew what she was doing, and she was taking me to another place that I could feel comfortable in, but also kind of spread my wings And we were right here on this stage. A lot of the time, we did our senior choreography pieces where we really got to bring in music that was special to us, and I captured that on video. Some of the students in my dance class I still talk to, and actually one of them, Jeremy Shirky, I don't know if any of you know him, but I let him borrow the video so he could record it, and he never gave it back. And we actually ended up going to church together, and in one of our community groups, he pops it on the TV and shows everybody this old video. I'm like, really? So we still connect over those memories outside of school. Another experience with Coach Ryan, I'm not sure if he really remembers, but again, being a fish out of water, things probably stick out to me that might not to you at times. So we were reading, I think, of Mice and Men, and one of the words that seemed to be on every line to me was the N-word. And it was really hard because we would read out loud in class. And it didn't seem like it was affecting anybody but me. And that's hard to speak up when you feel like that. It's like you don't want to cause a problem. You don't want to be seen as a troublemaker or anything, but it was just kind of burning inside. Like it was hard for me to hear and to read that word. So I remember talking to him after class about it, and he changed it. So we ended up replacing the word when we read out loud to the word slave, which really isn't that much better, but still, it meant the world to me because you heard me, and I'm sure as a teacher, you're teaching your class, and this is the book, this is what it is, but to switch that up because of how it made me feel was very important, and it's something that I remember. So what I would say to all of you is just, I know that this is just my experience. It's not an experience of any other woman, any other black woman, any other black student here. It's just me, Carla Jones, and what mattered to me is how you all made me feel. So I would say you're doing a great job. I also just want to thank you. Could you give yourselves a round of applause? Because I know that you probably don't get that enough, and this really is selfless work, and I love teachers because I remember my kindergarten teacher. She had us stand up and say, "I am somebody," before every class, and those are the things you remember. I may not remember what we talked about in class, unfortunately. Sometimes it really helped going to college. It really prepared me. But most importantly, if you can help your students think outside of the box, if you can take time to just get to know them as much as you can, figure out what matters to them, and maybe just say something in your class as you're teaching, maybe not any slang or anything, but something that lets you know that you hear them and you see them, those things really do matter. So I'm here to say that even the days when you don't think what you're doing matters, it really does. Even if it's not the grade that you get as teachers, if it's not a pat on the back, it could just be your smile that day. And you're here because Bowles hires quality teachers. That's a given. That's one thing that throughout my career, especially in Jacksonville, but even in other places, when I say I went to Bowles, is a source of pride, and people are always like, "Oh, wow." So the name has a reputation, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that even though it was a challenging experience for me in some ways, that's what life really is. So I see it as a privilege, and that's the way that I choose to see the glass half full. I had some experiences here that really shaped me as a person and made me see my career, especially in entrepreneurship. There's nothing that I'm afraid of at this point. I'm not afraid of rejection, because if someone doesn't see what I know, that I have to offer, then that's just not my lane. Or maybe they don't see it today, but they could see it later on in life. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for allowing me to share my voice today.